Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode number 9 of this awesome series where we are building BlindClicks. It's basically a project that's inspired by Operator from OpenAI and from Anthropic's, the project called Computer Use. And between the last episode and now, though even like a little bit late, now it's Wednesday, I have to kind of like carry it seriously from now onwards to record on Sundays, but I was super busy. I'll tell you guys in a minute why I was busy. Basically, the inspiration of BlindClick is based on this, that AI agents will inevitably need a computer to use and operate, and this BlindClicks also is contributing in that. I would like to give you guys a quick intro of why I was busy during the weekend and what I was doing. So basically it is about this awesome workshop I had on Saturday, which occupied my Sunday to kind of like be more with family and also take care of the project. Like the editing of this project, we invited a lot of people. I think 75 people joined. This was an AI agent workshop about building a voice AI agent that interfaces with your phone number. You call a phone number and then you get engaged with that conversation and literally have a conversation with ChatGPT on a voice layer, and then ask it to save your basically ask it to save your information to a Google Docs, and then it saves it. And all 75 of them were extremely engaging, and it was really nice session. And I will leave a link to this video, which is like 4 hour long. It took me a lot of time to edit this. There were multiple cameras on these tripods. I really enjoyed spending that entire day there, and then a couple of more days to edit it and finish. It's pretty much a hands-on presentation. I give some first slides first, and then the rest of everything was super hands-on. Everybody had a laptop, and I was sitting there and explaining everything step by step. But this 4 hour video is just one part of it. It has a complimentary playlist where you can find it here, somewhere here. And this playlist is basically exactly the same content that was taught in this workshop. So the workshop covers everything from A to Z, and then this playlist is exactly going in the same direction. So for some weird reason, it's sorted incorrectly. I will see what I can do. Part 12 is on the top and 1 is in the bottom. But you get the point. Like if you follow this from the bottom to up, from part 1 to the end, it should give you like that outcome that is shown on part 1, which is a phone number that you call. We are using VAPI and NA10. With VAPI, you basically build your voice AI, and then you interface it with NA10. There's ChatGPT integration and also Google Docs. So it's pretty much cool. What I'm doing next, I'm sorry it's dragging along. It's not related to BlindClicks, but it is related to what I'm doing. If you're in Berlin, I'm doing another workshop. Already 34 people registered. That's awesome. It's happening on it's happening when? On 20th of April. So on 20th of April, I'm running another workshop. The place is to be determined. 34 people already joined. I'll leave the link of this to this workshop. I mean, to this YouTube video, but it looks like this. Just if you're curious. What we build here is based on a real problem I have, and I posted that on my LinkedIn post about this a couple of days ago. Here's the LinkedIn post, which is basically, I missed a very important email. Here I showed that it was like 7 days ago that this email was sent, and I accidentally found it in my inbox. And Max, this guy, who's also working at N8N as a developer advocate, did something similar with LinkedIn, kind of like taking care of LinkedIn inboxes. My project was inspired based on that. And I thought, like, why should I not make this for myself and Gmail? I shouted out to people here. That was good. Got a lot of impressions. But now what I will do is I will not make it only for myself, but I will kind of like make this until then, like 28th of April, until then I will finish it. So that I have pretty much a structured information, and then I will run a workshop similar to the workshop I had last weekend, and then I will basically teach this to everyone in the workshop for free. It's a free workshop again, and then if you're living in Berlin, just come over. We'll go through this workshop. You'll basically have your own AI agent that takes care of your inbox. That being said, let's get to the project. And again, my apologies, I'm super busy, and therefore I'm looking for contributors. Look at that many letters I have here. Like, all of them are either from my businesses. In Germany, you get a lot of letters, or from my personal profiles, and I need to kind of like take care of these letters as soon as possible, and also take care of everything that we are doing here. Okay, so then let's quickly go to our plan, where we stopped in the sense of like the plan for the next steps. I'm gonna, then we can take a step from there and onwards to see what makes sense to do. Because I remember we planned for these three, all right, so we basically planned for these three next steps. Episode number 8, we said ChatGPT integration, which we have already done. So this is already done. And then we said episode 9, which is this one. Actually, we plan to do the database integrations in Supabase or in TypeScript and clean up everything and then open source it next week. But I think I will change the direction a little bit for a good reason. Let me explain what is that reason, and then I'll show you what needs to be changed. So we have this, the chat is running there. We have this blind tracker, but these errors are happening only because we need to do that reverse proxy and run the service locally and so on. And then this should be able to spin off quickly. In my opinion, what we should do is enrich this desktop application, or enrich this experience that we built in episode number 8, where I track something here, like I create all these JSON files, and then based on those JSON files, a command can be executed from the chat window. In my opinion, we need to perfect this solution first before we go to the next step, which is basically moving everything to Supabase. So I would suggest doing something like this, that in this current video, I will do this, episode number 9. We will perfect the tracker, the blind tracker, BlindClicks Tracker, and then episode number TBD, we will see when it makes sense and also when it makes sense to open source it. That's basically my opinion. So let's go and start talking about what needs to be perfected here. And perhaps I don't need to do it in this recording, because today it's a little bit, I'm a little bit under time crunch. I have to run fast. But I will at least try to do a little bit vibe coding here right now. How many minutes I'm recording? 10 minutes. So let's say another 10 or 15 minutes I will do some vibe coding. If it worked, fine. If not, then I will do the work myself asynchronously, and then I will give the updates on Sunday. Anyway, Sunday is coming soon, so that should be fine. Okay, so what I want to do, which does not have, like, this particular desktop application is lacking a lot of features. If we see, we can do only these commands for now. We can do delay, we can do typing. That's it. And we can do click based on that control. If you press control 2 times and then it captures a click. So literally we do 3 actions. And to be honest, when I built this desktop app, I didn't have an idea in mind to make this as a perfect solution to capture all possible commands that Robot.js provides. But the idea was to build it so that I can sell the idea of this click tracker, or give the visual representation of this click tracker. And in my opinion, in let's say 3 months of full-time development of this, or let's say 6 months of full-time, at least 2 people working full-time on this, we will not need a click tracker. Why? Because the actual click tracking can be uploaded through a video recording. So imagine if you have like a Loom video or a screen recording video, you upload it to this file. All these coordinates needs to be captured from that Loom video. It can be extracted from that Loom video. And for now, it's not possible to automate a lot of workflows. For example, I'm not sure if I shared with you guys this. I think this also happened since the last episode. I went somewhere and I actually presented it. It's called AI Builders. And the video for this is available somewhere here, this one. This happened 6 days ago. Yeah, exactly. This is also very nice Berlin-based meetup, an AI meetup. So I went there and I presented BlindClicks. Oh, indeed. Now I see this, I remember, I did a very important change that you guys need to follow, which is scaling up and down the resolutions automatically, because there was this big screen, and the BlindClicks coming, like capturing from this BlindClicks tracker captures. Oh, now you should be able to see this thing. This is something I added extra from the last version in episode number 8. And that happened literally inside that meetup, because I realized that this is a big screen and I'm gonna show actual demo, and that's exactly what I've done. I went in and did some live vibe coding, and I showed the entire workflow of how this thing works, and we picked something randomly from the crowd, and then we tried to automate that workflow. But the main idea is that the scaling of the screen is important, especially in case of these presentations. It's important that we need to be able to scale the screen. So the concept here, you should be able to search it on Git later on when it's open source. The concept is that whenever I'm capturing a click, let's say if I'm clicking this button, you see the X and Y moving? Pay attention here. If I'm clicking on this button, on this area, I capture not only the X and Y coordinates, but also the screen size. So that's the whole idea. And then when I am executing that, regardless of it's being serverless, headless or not, it is translated based on that screen size, on that X and Y coordinate. That X and Y coordinate that was captured, it is translated in that screen size. So therefore, if I attach as a bigger screen, like this one, then a bigger screen should work perfectly fine. And in the workflows that I have done on my laptop that night, this was like 6 days ago, that night it worked off the shelf, like literally without any problems. I ran the workflow, it worked on bigger screen with different resolution. So that code is already there in the repository. When I open source this, hopefully in a couple of weeks, then you should see that the translation of this code works already off the shelf. Okay, how many minutes are we running? 15 minutes. I may only take another 5 minutes to lay the plan for the next episode. And then I will do most of the coding anyways. Asynchronously, I will push it in the Git repository, and then you guys should see. So literally I need another 5 to maximum 10 minutes. So we have two ways to go with this. I thought about this. Either we keep adding these buttons, or we add one button that says custom code, and then we capture a custom code block. Why? I think that is a better way to do it, because let me quickly connect to this. What was the project called? Electron.js, I think. Let me first connect to the SSH. This should work here. Okay. So basically, the whole idea is that each snippet of these JSON files that we get, let me quickly show this, and then we go onward. Electron, yep, this one. So if we quickly check what robot.js has, where is robot.js? Oh, indeed, we don't have robot.js here. We have it in the other project. Let's go to that project. We anyways need that, so let's load that one as well quickly. All right, so we had something like DATEV.js. So anywhere we should be able to write it, but let's write it here. So if we, let's say, try to do all of these ones, you can see drag mouse, get mouse position, get pixel color, get screen size, and so on and so forth. This will end up being so much of work for us if we do this one button at a time. The use case that I wanted to build here, somewhere here, the crowd says like automate finding a doctor in my vicinity. I realized that when I search this thing, if I search doctor near me, I have to scroll, and I realize that, oh my god, we don't have a scrolling here. Let me quickly see. We don't have a scrolling here. So in certain circumstances, I need to scroll down. I need all the robot.js elements. And then what I realized is that, how about this? I take these JSON files, for example, open.datev. And every single piece of this can, especially in the start, it will be a developer tool, and it is going to stay a developer tool for a long time. So having this UI in the first place was just to sell the vision of this click and drag and so on, like the simplicity of capturing these blind clicks. And it was not meant to be a full-fledged desktop application that does all the clicks, basically. And also, indeed, if you remember 2 episodes before, we only had like X and Y coordinates and we were taking screenshots. And still it's relevant, because when you mouse move here and you press on Control button 2 times, that is important because we need to take the X and Y coordinates in the first place. So it will still stay there, but we may need to just add one extra button that takes a custom code, and that custom code being, maybe we end up here having like kind of like code snippet, and then that code snippet would be something like this. Pretty much Cursor understood it very well. Yeah, basically something like that. That's exactly what I'm saying. So the feature I will be working on, I'll work on it during the next days. I don't need to work on it on this video. It will be like just one extra button here that says code snippet. I click on that, and I literally copy paste something like this that is a robot.js that I can run it somewhere locally, and then I put one thing in the entire scenario. With this, hopefully, I should be able to automate anything I need to automate. And then the next step would be, right now we have like this many JSON files. And if you remember from last episode, when we fished it inside the ChatGPT context window, all of these steps are literally fetching and being copy-pasted inside the ChatGPT context window. So there is no RAG in place. I think 20, 30 JSON files or 20, 30 different workflows should work perfectly fine. And we will keep it like that for the next couple of episodes until and unless we hit the context window limit. Once we hit that, for O3 Mini, I think it's 200,000 tokens. It's a lot. We'll not hit it anytime soon. But when we hit that context window, then we will convert it to RAG, considering this, what do you call it, this notion of going lean startup and kind of like doing a hacking way until we know it works and then we convert everything. That goes hand to hand to this like JavaScript based files, not doing TypeScript from day one. So I will continue doing this hacking thing with one vision in mind, that I provide this on the web, like on one URL to someone out there in the world so that they can try it out by themselves. Like all the features that it has, like the headless feature, you close the tab, it does the job. Perhaps I was thinking about this morning, I may apply to this meetup where I can get a chance to do a demo. I was thinking about demoing something more complex, like a Figma design or something that has like click and drag and drop, and then right click and then changing properties. So I'm thinking about like this tool, if can automate everything, and I can put this entire platform on a URL and send it over to people, and this connection does not break all the time. And maybe I make it generic from DATEV AI agent to something like more generic. That has more priority than putting a proper pipeline, putting a proper TypeScript in place, and kind of like refactoring everything and putting an authentication and so on and so forth. I make it like a super cheap 10, 15 euros per month virtual machine with very nice RAM, like let's say 16 GB RAM or something. And then I have a make file to run the entire thing, like so that I can easily spin off that, and then have a cron job running that resets everything every day or every 5 hours, so that if people can go and build new workflows, so that can be resetted. And I should have like the command to reset it, so that I don't want to do this in a very hacky way in the start intentionally, so that we can get this to the hands of people, and people start contributing and people start thinking and talking about this, so that we can take this idea up to the world. Like with all these ideas of the debug logs and activities and rollbacks and uploading invoices, referring to what I have left here, kind of like a commercial presentation of this, if you guys remember this. So therefore, my main priority for this project right now is to take this project and make it available for others. First, make it possible to create new workflows on the fly like that, and then make it available for others so that they can go to a link without a lot of these setup that I have on Docker and so on, so that they can start tweaking things around and then see if this works. So pretty much that is what I have for this episode. I'm sorry there is not a lot of coding, and I'm sorry I was busy with all these letters and with those workshops. This episode was a little bit late, but I'm glad I finally found time to record this. I think that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Thank you.